Hi everybody, it's your girl Ina here. I just wanted to reach out and do a quick video. First of all, I want to thank everybody so much. The outpouring of love and support this past week. We lost Jeffrey just under a week ago, and the outpouring of love and support from all over the world has been absolutely, I can't thank everybody enough. We can't thank everyone enough. We got messages from literally all over the world and so much support. Of course, it doesn't bring Jeffrey back, but it was a big help to have so many people reach out to us and send us best wishes and thinking of Jeffrey and praying for Jeffrey and wishing for Jeffrey. And so I want to thank everyone for that. I got a lot of messages, people saying, jump back on the horse, make a funny video, it'll make you feel better, like it'll cheer everybody up. But I'm not trying to be some sort of martyr, but I just don't feel like it. We're still mourning, and we're not feeling in a joking way. But I thought, while we're in this state, like while we just went through this, and while it still hurts, I thought maybe this would be a good time to do a video to maybe help some people who have to go through the same thing that we just went through, while it's fresh on my mind, while it's fresh in my heart. So our little Jeffrey, he was 18 years old, and a lot of people have said, oh, well, you got 18 years with him, you should be happy. But kind of like 18 years with the dog is also makes you even that many more years attached. And for all these years, you think every morning, get up, you have to take the dog out. Every morning, you have to give him his snack. Anything you do that's out of the house, you have to think, okay, is it someplace we can take the dog? We know we can take him to work with us, but if we're not going to work, is it a place that he'll be able to go and be comfortable? Or should we leave him with my in-laws, who he was like his second parents? He was there all the time. And it was like everything you do somehow revolves around, it kind of like having a kid. Revolves around the safety and happiness of your pet, which is kind of how we lived our lives well, Bettina and I began there 16 years. She had the dog when we got together. So for me, 16 years, for her, 18 years. So it's been a big part of our life for all these years. And then suddenly that thing that was so big, even the going to bed ritual, even the getting out of bed ritual, even going outside to go to the bathroom. Well, we don't go to the bathroom outside. He does. All these things were like a ritual in our household that we just did every day, and now we don't have it anymore. So it's a very strange situation for us to get used to and get adjusted to, as would be anyone who loses a pet. Just a little bit more about Jeffrey. So he was 18, and he was in relatively good health right up until the end. He had some things, like when he was 12, we hadn't had him fixed, but when he was 12, they found some lumps in his. So we had him fixed when he was 12. So that was kind of like a big thing to fix a dog so late in life. But he wasn't acting himself, and we were afraid of what that could be. He had a thyroid problem, but so do I. That's why I'm so fat. He had a thyroid problem, which we medicated him for some time, but then we thought it didn't really make a difference in his health or his behavior, so we stopped giving him the medicine. There were some things that like his hair, for example. He lost all of his hair. This is Jeffrey. It's a little Jeffrey doll that we had made. We've lived in this house for 5 years, and I have pictures of him and videos of him in this house with all of his hair. So it's within the last 5 years that he's lost all of his hair, and he was completely bald. His face had hair, and his hands and his feet had hair, and a little bit on his tail, but everything else was bald. So he had lost all of his hair. So all of these things are like little signs that were coming, but we loved him so much. I guess, I don't know to say if we were in denial, but my hair's getting white. I have a thyroid problem. Like all these things, as a person, like you wouldn't think the end is near, and we didn't think the end was near for him either. Like we just went on with everyday life like normal. But slowly, and I would say it's probably in the last year, we noticed some things like he went to the bathroom in the house a lot. And he would never do that before. Or like a couple times he had accidents in the bed, which he would never do before. So there were times where we had to put him in diapers, and he hated the diapers, but there was times, most of the time we just didn't have him in diapers, but sometimes, especially toward the end, we had him in diapers. And again, this is a big sign for us as pet owners that things are going downhill, but we just kind of thought, well, we still love him and he's still himself, so he just has to wear diapers. That's the end of that. No big deal. things like getting in and out of the steps to go downstairs. We actually even built him a ramp. We went to the do-it-yourself store and bought lumber and made him a ramp and put like indoor outdoor carpeting on it so he could get in and out of the house on his own. Things like this, we're just constantly making adjustments to accommodate him because we loved him so much and he loved us so much, that maybe we didn't have our eyes completely open to everything that was going downhill. And then he started this little tick where he would whimper. He would, and he seemed like unruh. What's unruh in English? He was like not quiet. He was not calm. He couldn't calm down. And he was always like, not always, but a lot. And he would sleep a lot. He would sleep most of the day. When he was up, he kept doing this little thing. So we were like, oh, you know, we just kept making reasons that this could be and not really accepting that. I mean, realizing that it was meaning that things were going a little bit downhill, but not really, I guess, accepting the reality of that it was really going downhill. And this kind of continued, but he wasn't in like pain, he wasn't suffering, so we just went on with our lives with our baby Jeffrey, and that was the way it is. Until his last week, when he woke up that morning and he couldn't hold himself up and he kept falling down. And then when he would fall down, I mean, we have tile floors, he would hit his head on the floor. So we put carpeting everywhere to make sure that, and then we took him to the vet. The vet medicated him. He was on an IV. He got B12. He got steroids. He got pain pills, pain medicine in the IV. And then he seemed to perk back up. And I think this is around the time I made that last video where we were like, wait a minute, he's doing better. Then he could walk again. Then he was not crying so much. And then he was eating, and actually he was eating. That was the one thing up until the end, that boy could eat. He loved his meals. He loved to eat and drink. He was good. And that was all good on Friday, but the vet had mentioned to us the treatment would last probably about 4 days, and we'd have to see how he was doing after 4 days. So that was Wednesday he got it. Thursday, Friday, he was feeling better. Saturday, after I'd made that last video, we noticed him kind of not doing so well again. And then we couldn't have him in the yard. He couldn't get comfortable. He was having spells where he would cry, like really cry, and we were like, oh man, like what do we do? That night we went to bed, Saturday night, and then he woke up in the middle of the night and was just crying and scratching, and he was not good. And that's when we made the decision that we were going to have to make the tough decision that morning, Sunday morning. So as soon as the sun came up, I'm gonna start crying. We took him outside and he played a little bit, and then we went back and forth with the decision, like honestly, like 20 times, because then we're like, wait, he's playing, like maybe he's fine. But then he went back again, and it was just not good. So this is kind of the reason I'm doing this video, is for any pet owners that have to go through this, that you can hear it from someone that just went through it. When we got to the vet, of course we were upset. We didn't want to upset him, but we were upset. And the vet gave him a little tiny bit. It was like a tenth of a dose for his size of like to calm him down. Like it would take a whole dose to calm him down normally, but we gave him a tenth, and he just went limp. And it was at that moment that I knew we made the right decision, because it had been so long since we had seen him calm and seen him relaxed. And this was a dog that I could carry like a baby, like carry him like a baby and rub his tummy. And like when he fell asleep, he was like a rag doll. He was so trusting and so like, he loved us so much. Like when he fell asleep, you could like throw him back and forth. When he was asleep, he was out. And I didn't realize how long it had been since he had been that calm. When he had been that calm, that we didn't have to worry about waking him up, because we wanted him to be calm, and his body just relaxed. And it was at that point I knew we made the right decision. And so if this helps any other pet owners, you know, toward the end to make the decision, it was literally the hardest decision we had to make. And, you know, it still hurts that we had to go through that. But at the end, when you see the relief and calm that it brings over your pet, and the peace, and how just relaxed he finally was, and how all this kind of pressure and this stress that he had was finally released, then we knew we made the right decision. And anytime I get sad, or I get, you know, I miss him or whatever, I just think of this moment when he had complete calm. And so I hope that this can help some people going through what we went through, that it is the merciful thing to do at the end, to let your pet go respectfully, painlessly, calmly, because my neighbor said to me the other day, if you do everything right when you get a pet, whether you adopt him, buy him, get him as a gift, him or her as a gift, when you get a pet, if you do everything right, there's going to be a time in your life when you're going to have to say goodbye. And that's with Jeffrey. If we did everything right for a very long time, and when the time came, we had to do the right thing to let him be at peace. So I hope that this helps people that are going through what we went through. Know that when the time comes, it's very peaceful and it's very, very relaxing for them, and it does put them at rest. So think of your pet, think of the comfortability of your pet, and do the right thing when the time comes. If you really love your pet as much as we did. Thank you very much, everybody, for the support. I will come up with a little bit lighter stuff, I guess, when I'm ready, and I don't know when that will be. But thank you again, everyone, for the support, and bye, Jeffrey.